Okay, I want to talk a little bit about concentration versus density. So let's talk about definitions first. Concentration is the number of households of a particular type as a percentage of total. So in this case, we're interested in households that are earning $200,000 or more, and concentration would be that number of households divided by the total for particular polygons. And in the case we're going to show you 4 cities and we're going to show you zip codes. Density is the amount of those households per square mile, per the area of each polygon. And these are two very different things. In general, concentration is a richness metric, and density is a metric of per square mile. How frequent do you find the target market? And both of them can be important, and we're going to show you the difference and then some ways of thinking about them. And you get the character of marketplaces from these two metrics. So let's go to New York. And in the upper left, we've got by zip code concentration. So again, this is the richness metric. So you can see 200K households as a percentage of the total for zip codes. And so you can see in Manhattan and in New Jersey on the just across all the way up from the upper parts of New Jersey all the way down to there you go. And then also in Brooklyn, all very rich on a concentration basis. But what about density? What about the frequency per square mile? And so now you can see that New Jersey, Brooklyn, and Manhattan, but you'll notice if you go up along the northern part of New Jersey, not so dense at all anymore. Okay, so now let's look at where are the differences, and that's in the lower left. So we took the quintiles. Each one of the maps in the upper left are 5 categories. And in the lower left, we've taken whichever quintile they were for concentration, and we've subtracted out the quintile that they were in for density. And so you can see now where the biggest differences are, where concentration was high and density was low. And where it's white, it means there was no difference. Let's say you're after both concentration and density. Well, that's the lower right. That's where we added up the quintile for both concentration and density, added it together. So the top score is 10, the bottom score is 2. And you can see Manhattan, New Jersey, right across the shore, and Brooklyn are all very high in that regard. Let's go to Los Angeles and look at that a little bit. So on the left, we've got concentration, and on the right, we've got density. And you can see the Malibu area along the west is highly concentrated, but not dense. And then if you go to the lower left, go to the lower left, and you can see now where that Malibu area, Pacific Palisades, Topanga, it's all very wealthy, but not dense. And then when you add them together, you get the area from Beverly Hills, sort of down on the water, Santa Monica, Manhattan Beach, and Palos Verdes are all both concentrated and dense. Let's go to the Bay Area now. We're going to look at San Francisco real quick. And here you can see on a concentration basis, Marin County, San Francisco is very concentrated in certain places. And East Bay, I think that may be, go ahead, the East Bay. I think one of them is Orinda, and that may be Danville, Walnut Creek, and so forth. Density, San Francisco is the big winner there. And then when you look at the differences in the lower left, you can see Marin County and those places in the East Bay. And when you add them up together, it really is San Francisco. Now let's go down to the South Bay in the Bay Area. And here you can see highly concentrated in areas in the hills, Palo Alto, and even down into San Jose. The density occurs really in the areas along 101 in the peninsula. The star is San Jose. So now, if you look at concentration minus density, you can see the hills where things are concentrated and not dense. And then if you add them together, you can see around Stanford some interesting things. So let's go. We're going to look at this map in the lower right, and we're going to look at it in ARC. And now you can see Stanford is blue, but that's really because they don't, nobody effectively lives there other than students who I guess are poor, although maybe they're rich, but I don't think they take I don't think they take data there because I just don't think it works that way for Stanford. But Palo Alto, again, this is concentration plus density. Look at Woodside, super wealthy, but doesn't score on this metric because it's really not dense at all. So I think that's it. Concentration and density, two very important things to think about when targeting a particular market.